Hey, what's up YouTube? Lightsaber Samurai here. I'm back again with another video and welcome to 2022. Yes, first video of the year, and I thought I would start it off with talking about some games that you need to get like right now. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Okay, so you saw the short, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you pretty much know what this video today is going to be about, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of games that we, up until now, have been pretty much dirt cheap that are rising in price, and I just wanted to let you be aware of them so you can hurry up and grab these and add them to your collection if you haven't done so already. And starting out, why don't we just pick up where we left off with the short that I released, and let's talk about The Matrix Path of Neo. And this isn't, this is kind of a no-brainer when you really think about it. The Matrix movie, the new one, just got released in theaters and on streaming services, and we all got treated to that sweet Matrix Reawakened, was it Matrix Awakening that came out courtesy, just showing off the Unreal 5 engine on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, S, whatever it's called, the new Xbox. Guys, Microsoft, get your ish together when it comes to naming your consoles. It's absolutely terrible. But anyway, like I said, it's pretty much Matrix season again. There's a whole lot of renewed interest in the franchise, as well as a whole bunch of renewed nostalgia for the franchise. So after you've watched the original trilogy like I've been doing, and you even strap in and watch the Animatrix, and you go back and you watch the new movie, and you watch the Unreal trailer like 4 or 5 times. Really the only thing to do now to get more Matrix in your life is to go back and play these games. And we got 2 Matrix games in the 6th generation, the other one being the flawed but good Enter the Matrix, which came out a couple of years earlier, and I suspect that may rise in price a little bit as well, but it's not going to get to the price that this game is getting to, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Main reason, number one, is in the Matrix and the Matrix Path of Neo, you play as Neo. Enter the Matrix, you played as Nairobi and Ghost, and while they were cool characters, it's not playing as the one. And so in this game, you play as the role of Neo, and you walk his path through the storyline of all 3 Matrix movies. Like the Enter the Matrix game, they shot some new footage for this game, added some things, and even changed the ending around. And so, all in all, that made for a pretty unique experience. At this game's heart, it's pretty much a beat-em-up, third-person shooter. You do get access to guns. The controls in that is a little bit wonky when it comes to the gunplay, but ultimately you can pretty much get the hang of it. Graphics-wise, I think the graphics on this were really done, especially on the Xbox. The graphics look really good on the Xbox. The PlayStation 2, they were really trying to squeeze all of the juice that they could out of the PS2 version to do a lot of the same things that the Xbox version could do much easier. For instance, having that large Agent Smith fight, and in the Agent Smith fight, again, that was a lot of polygons that they were able to push on screen, and the fight itself, it played and felt quite a bit like the movie. That I think overall they did a really good job on that. Again, the Path of Neo, this is a game that's been like $10 for years, but with the renewed resurgence and interest in this franchise, I've been checking out price chart and looking on eBay. It's exploded on eBay. This game is $80, anywhere between like $60 and like $80. In a lot of cases, it's 100 plus. Depending on where you go. And so again, like the interest in this game is through the roof right now. So this, I do imagine a lot of this is artificial inflation, of course, so this price will come down a bit. But the alarming thing about this is, while I was looking on eBay, is people are paying these prices. These are sold prices that I'm talking about. In some cases, and a lot of cases actually, the Matrix Path of Neo on Xbox and PS2 have sold for over $100, and that's scary because that kind of demand is going to drive the price up and genuinely keep the price high. So while I expect the Matrix Pandemonium will wear down, the prices are never going to go back to where they were before. And that being said, there's more Matrix movies coming, right? There's more Matrix content coming. Hopefully we'll be getting a new game in the series in the future after seeing that Unreal trailer. And, hopefully we can, hope for more content. But, the Matrix train isn't going to slow down for the next couple of years. And so these prices are pretty much going to stay where they are. Okay, moving on, there's actually two more franchises that I wanted to talk to you guys about. In this, both of these franchises, the price jump is in regards to some things that's been happening over on the Microsoft side of things, whereas they've been adding new games to the backwards compatibility list, but they're only adding them physically. So they've unlocked the system where you can play them, but they won't be selling them digitally in the stores. And this happens all the time, especially now. You'll see it happen more and more with these older games. I suspect the major reason for that is licensing issues. Either there was a likeness that they can no longer use, or product placement, or licensed music, or something like that. Usually these agreements last for about a decade or so, and now that we're going back and looking at, the Xbox 360 is like 16 years old now. People like that system is pretty much retro at this point. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what we're seeing. A lot of these licensing agreements coming to an end, and so Microsoft said, well, okay, we'll go ahead and let you play the game on the system. You just got to have the physical disc, and you can pop in your media and it'll play just fine, but we just can't sell it on the store. But because of that, people are going out and buying these physical games. And which ones am I talking about? Well, we'll start off with the f.e.a.r series that came out on the Xbox 360, and I'm missing one here. There was one called like f.e.a.r Files or something like that. I think it was just like an expansion pack or DLC. I was looking at that one on eBay because I was going, well, let me just see what it's going for, see if I can add it to my collection. f.e.a.r Files is going for like $65 right now, and all of these are following behind. The f.e.a.r series is an excellent series of first-person shooters, which I always thought was a hidden gem in its own right. You play as a soldier who's encountering all these paranormal activities. That's based on this experiment gone awry with a young girl, and so now she's like this pseudo spirit, psychic, like demonic monster, and she'll go around and terrorize you, throughout all three games. The gunplay and all of them are fantastic. You got some cool weapons in there, and I like, especially like in the first one, they're really good with the hand-to-hand combat. It reminds me a lot of Breakdown in that sense, that came out on the Xbox, where you can do a lot of martial arts and jump kick your enemies, and when they fall back, then you can pull out a gun and shoot them up and things like that. Really cool stuff. As the series goes on, you yourself get access to supernatural powers of your own, and so I always thought these games were fantastic, great games to play during Halloween. And but that being said, these games are always, again, like the $10 to $15 mark for a piece for all three, and now we are starting to see the trilogy for each game hovering around anywhere between like 25 and 40, and the price is still going up. And as people hurry up to snatch this game on eBay, I think the prices for these games will just continue to increase. That being said, on the PlayStation 3 side of things, the prices seem to be going up as well, but at a slower pace. So again, if you see f.e.a.r, definitely pick these up. All three of these games are fantastic. It makes a great series. I gotta go find that f.e.a.r Files now, because I'm not buying it on eBay. Okay, last two games that I'm going to talk about today. Again, also a byproduct of, the decisions made by Microsoft in recent weeks. We got to talk about the 50 Cent games that came out on the OG Xbox and the Xbox 360. That's Bulletproof and Blood in the Sand, respectively. And I've covered both of these games at one point or another on the channel before. Both of them are third-person shooters in which you take on the role of 50 Cent, and you kind of go through his misadventures. The first game is kind of more like a story that takes place in the hoods of New York and, kind of dealing with the criminal underworld. The second game takes that on a global scale. It takes place in the Middle East, and you're going up against, basically like terrorists and the gangs in the Middle East. The premise of these games are absolutely absurd, especially considering the fact that 50 Cent, like, it's not 50 Cent's likeness, like playing the part of a cop or a criminal or anything like that. It's just 50 Cent, like, playing himself in the video game. And not only him, but you also tag along with members of the G Unit, which, again, absolutely absurd when you're talking about, you know, flying in military choppers and taking down insurgents in the Middle East, you know, after performing a concert at the beginning of the game or whatever. Like, it's absolutely wild. And that in itself is why I like these games so much. Just the fact that it's so ridiculous is actually pretty good. And that being said, the gameplay was always there. So I mentioned these were third-person shooters, and the third-person, the controls are fantastic. The shooting feels great. He's got a bunch of melee moves that you can do in close quarters, a bunch of cool finishers, and you can slow down time, you know, with a melee. Like, it's cool. Like, all the tropes are there, but they're done very well. And so, like I said, you won't feel bad for owning these games at all. Like, I thought they were a good time, and both games give you a bunch of bonuses, like full-length music videos and things like that. So if you're a fan of hip-hop, or you're a fan of 50 Cent and the G Unit, and these games are a no-brainer. That being said, with the recent decisions made by Microsoft, I was looking at Blood and Sand. Blood and Sand people are paying over $100 for that game on eBay. Like, a lot of people are paying upwards to that, and that made the price of it shoot up overnight. And Bulletproof is, you know, trailing behind, but it's also going up. People are trying to sell Bulletproof now for like 40, 50 bucks. And again, this was, in both of these games were, you know, Blood and Sand you can get for about 15 to 20, and Bulletproof has been like less than $5 like for years, you know, somewhere around the $5-10 mark tops. But you know, with these decisions, like, people are rushing out and buying these games. And again, even though this is artificial inflation, the disturbing thing about it is people are actually paying these prices. So that's going to make the price go up for real, and that is the scary part. But there is a silver lining, and that is that a lot of your retro video game stores don't quite know about this yet, at least from my experience. For instance, Matrix Path of Neo, this whole thing was spurred about by a live stream that I did about a week ago. And if you guys were in the live stream, we got to talking about it, and I said, hey, I think that price of that game might go up soon because the movie's out and people are going to be interested in that again. So I went out and I told you guys in the live stream, I said, you know what, because I had it on PS2, and I said, my copy is around here somewhere. I couldn't find it at the time. I've since found it, luckily for me, but I said I'm going to go get it on the Xbox because I want to try it on the Xbox. And so I went out hunting for it, and I found it pretty quickly here in my local area, and it was $9.99. I found it at Vintage Stock, matter of fact, and for $9.99. So I was able to get that game this week for a good price. And I think 50 Cent is the same way. Blood and Sand has always been a little bit uncommon, as was Path of Neo, but again, I don't think the video game stores have caught on to the crazy prices yet, because these prices shot up so suddenly. So people are going around trying to find them right now so they can flip them on eBay. So I just wanted to put this video out, let you guys know. Go grab these games. Check your local video game stores. Check the pawn shops and things like that. They should have them lying around. If you're vigilant enough, you too can score a copy. Alright guys, so that's all I got for this video, but let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. Are there any games that you can think of that's been kind of quietly rising in price in the background? If so, let us know in the comments below, and then we all can add those to the collection if we haven't done so yet. If you guys like this content, go ahead, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace.